everyone. My name's Jamie, and I have my partner here, Scott. We're really excited about talking about our new podcast. Scott, tell us a little bit about the podcast. I'll let you take it from there.
Okay, we've been struggling with the concept, not necessarily the concept, but the name of the podcast. The podcast is A Lion Among the Sheep. And the subtitle is, forging men and women. It's a dialogue. It's back and forth between our viewers and ourselves, and Jamie and myself, to get to a point where we're forging men and women into exemplary leaders, into leadership roles. When we first talked about this, it was a lion among the sheep, men, young and old. And then Jamie and I were talking. I've been a coach. I've raised a daughter. I've been a coach of female athletes for decades. And Jamie's been involved in female athletics as well. And so we said, why would we limit just to men? Because women are the lions in the pride that makes the pride work. There's women, females are just as much lions as men. Right. So that's what we're doing. So what we want to do is try to we see out there a lot of younger people kind of lost right now in this generation, lost, not knowing how to grasp leadership roles. And what we want to do, and I see men, actually older men and women, don't want to take the lead. What we're trying to do here is get a dialogue going. How can we become lions? How can we become leaders?
No, I think that's great, Scott, how you articulated that. I couldn't have said it better myself. As a leader, what are the characteristics that really separate leaders from followers? And it's one of the things I've always believed in is a leader is someone that leads by example, doing the right things, having the right habits, but more importantly, first starting with the right mindset. I know that's something that, we talk about quite a bit, doing the things that we don't want to do, but we have to do in order to reach our goal. Are there any key points that you think that, and I know we're just kind of getting things rocking and rolling, but I always think that it's so critical to give value as quickly as we possibly can to our audience and for those out there who are trying to figure things out?
Jamie, you said the word mindset. Mindset is so key. When people look at leaders, we're athletes. We've trained athletes, but we train the common man and woman, boy and girl. But right. We look too much sometimes for the physical appearance, whether they're leaders or not. And it's not about the appearance. It has something to do with it, but it's what's in the mind, the mindset. And that's so important that you have to, set your objectives, set your goals, set what you want to do. And then you have to have that mindset to be committed, be consistent, and be coachable. One of my things when I coach my athletes, the 3 C's of a champion: consistency, commitment, and coachable. And I'm competing in some powerlifting here. I'm not that great at it, but I compete. And I have a coach. I have a coach who helps me at my age and having been involved in athletics for decades. But I think the mindset is the key. Wanting something, and then we're going to help, Jamie and I are going to help you get that mindset to achieve that goal.
Yeah, no, that's great, and well said. And I think that, having a platform where people can come and, you've alluded to this and we've talked about it. They can post questions, things that they may be struggling with or things that they just want to improve. I think the two of us with our plethora of experience in athletics and just our approach to life as well, because I do believe you have to have balance in terms of how you think, what you think about, what activities you do on a daily basis to move yourself in the right direction, whether it's through your training or whatever you may be pursuing outside of that, right? It all works together. The habits you create in the gym and how you decide to approach it has everything to do with how you approach your personal life as well. And I think those two things, when you have them all firing up and you're doing the right things, you have the right mindset, you're doing the right activities, you're staying focused on the goals, you're not allowing things to distract you. So, Scott, what would you say to someone that's struggling with trying to stay focused? And as we all know, life has many moving parts. There are many things that we just don't have control of. What would be some advice that you would give to someone out there that's just trying to get on a path of moving themselves in a direction where they can begin to build some self-confidence?
Jamie, you said the word balance. That is such a critical aspect of any development. And our balance, it's a great triad. It's the mind, spirit, and body. And first, you have have to have the mental aspect, and you need a somewhat of a spiritual aspect. You've got to have whoever you call your God. You have to have a higher power to realize there's something bigger than me, you, and us. There's something bigger out there. And we use body last because if you have the mindset, you have the spiritual fulfillment, you're going to have all the ability to get the body. And the body is in the health and fitness. So here's what I would do. Now, I'm going to tell you a quick story. When I was 12 years old, Jamie, you know this story. I was 12 years old. I was fat. Okay, my waist at 12 years old is what it was now, what it is now. And I went to the pediatrician, and the doctor said, "What do you want to do when you grew up?" And I'm a Pittsburgh Pirate fan. I love Roberto Clemente, number 21. And I said, "I want to play right field for the Pirates." And the doctor laughed at me, and he said, "You're going to be fat the rest of your life." And so I walked out of that doctor's office. I did not go to my mom. My mom never knew this. She passed away. Even the day she passed away, I never told her this. I went home. I didn't call tell my mom to go back to the other doctor. I went home and started running hills. I put my mind in it. That doctor is not going to keep me down. So you need that mindset. Whatever your motivation is and your discipline, you have to have the mindset. So, and it's in baby steps. Believe me, I did not in 3 months go from a 33-inch waist, 32-inch waist as a 12-year-old to some speedster. It took me time. It took me keep baby steps. And, my friends always say that doctor was either the biggest prick of a doctor or the best sports psychologist ever. And so I hope he was a great sports psychologist. But to get back to your question, JB, is you got to do baby steps. You got to have the commitment. You got to say, you've got to have the motivation to get where you want. And honestly, I don't care what that motivation is to start. Mine was anger. I had a chip on my shoulder because I was called a fat boy. That was anger that drove me. But after a while, you have to shift that motivation because you start feeling good about yourself. So whatever little grasp of motivation you could get, take it and run with it and get to whatever it is, whether you're walking every day, whether you're working out every day, whether you're doing boxing every day, cycling every day, just do it. Get up. I know that's a great Nike slogan, but there's a reason for it. Just get off the couch and get moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's a fantastic example of using something that particularly may not have been, positive, and leveraging that in your favor to say, you know what, I'm going to prove to myself, because I always believe, and we talked about this as well, it's always you against you, right? It's always focusing on yourself. I think we all can appreciate everyone for having wonderful abilities, but at the end of the day, we're in our own race. And that's a testament to you and your relentlessness to decide, you know what, I'm going to make some specific changes, and I'm going to reach the goal of putting myself in the best possible shape I can. And, from what it appears to me, that's been something that you've carried on your entire life up to now and continue to do. And I think it's great to share those kind of stories, because I think often we find that many people sometimes think that it's not possible for them, or they have the self-sabotage and the belief that, they can do it, or they find themselves becoming watchers of someone else's success. And I think we all can appreciate everyone's success, but we all within us have the ability to create our own success. And I think what we're talking about today is really a catalyst for inspiring people to believe and know that you can do better. There is a path for you, and having the right, as you said earlier, the right mindset, but more importantly, taking those baby steps, not feeling as though like, okay, for example, I'm going to run 2 miles and I haven't ran a quarter of a mile in more than 2 years. It's gradually building performance and convincing yourself that you can be successful at it. So no, that's a fantastic share, Scott. Awesome.
Jamie, you again, you're saying you come up with some great ideas, and it gets planted in my head. Self-sabotage. We tend to self-sabotage ourselves. And I'm sure you're the same way. Now, listen, I don't want to tell you we're a bunch of old men, but I'm 60 and JB's in his mid 50s. So, and we are at the gym every day. What are you, 54?
54. Yeah,
54
just had a
years old.
birthday in
I
September.
just had a birthday. So he just turned 54. I turned 60 this year. And I have people who come up to me. I'm sure Jamie the same way. We talked about this. I can never do what you do. And you know what? I say, you're right, because you just told yourself you can't. If you would
Absolutely.
say, you know what, like when I'm in there deadlifting pretty much weight, people are like, I can never do that. I'm like, you never tried it. You never
Right.
tried, you never deadlifted. So you
Right.
don't know what you can do.
Right.
So and we do this, we do, regardless of what it is. If you see someone, jumping out of a plane, which I really have, I'm scared to do. And like, I can't do that. I can't
Right.
do it because I'm not going to, I don't want to do it. So that's it. I don't want to do it. So, but if
Yeah.
you want it, you can do it. You can start. You talk about baby steps. I train men, women. I have a couple of women right now who are somewhat overweight. And I have them on a run walk. So they run for 15 seconds and walk for a minute. Run for 15, walk for a minute. And they do that for a week, not continuously for a week, but they do
Right.
their half-hour run walk a couple times a week. And then next week they go 30-second run.
Right.
And they just build up. Listen, we did not get in the shape we are. These athletes, Aaron Donald didn't get the way he did when he graduated from Penn Hills overnight back in Pittsburgh. Aaron Donald, before he just retired with Los Angeles Rams. They didn't get that way overnight.
Right.
It's all baby steps. But you know what? It goes back to the mindset. If you have the impetus, the catalyst to start moving, once you start moving, you're not going to want to stop. Trust me. Like they say about running, the hardest part of running is lacing up your shoes. And I find that once my shoes are tied up, I'm like, that's wrong. That's wrong.
No, that's a great share. It's absolutely true. I think we all can attest to, especially like, getting yourself going, you may kind of not be having the best day, but like you said, once you put those shoes on, once you get in that car, and you start driving, you get there, you may still not be completely sold on what am I doing, but once you get in there and you get on the treadmill, you warm up, or you warm up on a bike, or and you start getting into the routine, it always seems to happen after the workout. You always are glad you did it, and that's a great feeling to have, right? It's the feeling, I always say, we all have feelings and so forth, but sometimes you got to tell your feelings, like, listen, go away, I'm not listening to you right now. Listen to your feelings after you've accomplished or going, and I think that's a great model to use, particularly for someone who has not been active, is 15 seconds on, of doing some form of a jog or a light run, and then walking a minute, because what you're doing is you're getting your body within a reasonable time acclimated to, running. And as you obviously get better, then you may increase the time. And I think that's a great starting point. I think we
And you're
talk
still gonna,
ourselves out of it and we
yeah, you're still gonna
minimize
produce
15
endorphins.
seconds,
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I think, and it's having conversations like this for me, where I think there are a lot of people, they see all of the amazing workouts that people are doing on social media. And I love that. I can certainly appreciate, someone being able to do some of the acrobatic workouts that they can, but we can all agree, for most people, that's just not what the goal is. All right, neither is that something that you just automatically go to. I mean,
Right.
those individuals who are able to do that, both men and women, there's been a process that they've gone through to get to that capacity. And so when you're starting out, I'm not always say it's great to, spend so much time thinking and watching. We start doing more is really the key and the goal.
No doubt. Baby steps, baby steps. Everybody
Yeah.
says, oh, this guy's an overnight success. He's been training for
Yeah.
15 years since he was 10,
Yeah.
5 years old.
Yeah.
And now he's an overnight success. So there's
Yeah.
no overnight successes. It doesn't happen. It's years and
No,
years
it
of hard
doesn't.
work. It's hard work.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, we're looking forward to having some fun here. And we just want, today was just a quicker podcast, just to let you know, get to introduce ourselves. And,
Yeah.
we've been coaching athletes, men, women, children, all different levels of athletes.
Yeah.
Just, I hate to say common because no one's common, but
No one, right.
Your mom, retirees, housewives, businessmen,
Right.
a whole broad spectrum. And they have one thing in common.
Right.
They desire to perform and win, regardless of what they may say. They all want to win. They get out there. And do you agree, Jamie? They all have
No,
that
listen,
competitive.
at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And I tell you what a feeling it is, when you've put in the work, made the sacrifices for yourself. Your clothes fit better, and it makes you feel better. And honestly, I say this, Scott, and I know we're wrapping up, man, but so much of why people often get mistreated in society is because of the lack of their own self-worth. And it usually always starts with they don't like the way their body may look and things of that nature. And I'm here to say, you can do something about that, and it just starts with the right mindset, as we alluded to earlier. Having a consistent commitment to your goals and to yourself, and everything is possible for every person out there. So I'm excited. I think, like you alluded to as well, I mean, this is something that we just said we're going to do it. And we really want to help people just have a better process and be a sounding board or be a resource to really helping people get the right information, but get words of encouragement and get real practical things that they can do that for what they may be struggling with. I like to think of Scott and myself, we're problem solvers. That's what we are. At the end of the day, we help people solve problems. And that if your fitness is something to challenge, then we're here to help you find a solution to be in the best position possible, have the best life you possibly can.
Right. Absolutely, Jamie. And that's what we're looking forward to. We're looking forward to going forward. This is going to be a journey for all of us. And we're looking forward to taking this journey with all of you out there. Now, listen, if you have any comments, you have any questions, please shoot us a comment, question, whatever you like. If any advice you have to give us, do that. I like to be coachable. I'm very coachable. So we're going to have fun with this. I'm looking forward to it.
Man. That's what it's all about, man. We got to have fun and, to encourage people to take themselves serious, but also to celebrate the things that you have been able to do, right? If you went to the gym 3 times one week and then the next week you went twice, recognize, okay, maybe you can go the following week 4 times, right? But just being consistent to yourself will often have such an impact on how you feel about yourself, how you treat yourself, and to how other people you allow to treat you as well, right? So I can't say enough. I'm really excited. It was a lot of fun today to get on here and just share insight and really have a genuine conversation about life and life and fitness and the components of the mindset. They all work together. So no, awesome stuff, Scott.
Thank you. Awesome. It's a great job, guys. We're looking forward. Remember, celebrate your little victories every day. Celebrate yourself. Okay. If you won't celebrate yourself, no one else will. So you guys take care. Have a great week. We'll see you next week. And we're looking forward to this.
Awesome. All right.
0, 1. Let's get started.